I get it. I understand. You keep on avoiding difficult conversations. You don't feel good about them. So you just exit, you step out with everyone, with your close friends, with your parents, with your woman, especially that you really, really love. But then you sabotage it and just have no, no responsibility with the person, no accountability for yourself. And then now you avoid difficult conversations. If that's you, then watching this video is very, very valuable because I myself went through a lot of these conversations that were difficult. And what I mean by that is I get discomfort, I feel that discomfort whenever I'm in these conversations. My name is Jafaro, and in this video, I'm just going to really just explain to you why you keep on doing this and how to overcome it with literally every single human being in this world. Because this is my mission, right? My mission is to end intergenerational trauma. Because when we start practicing to go into and lean into our discomfort and be open to difficult conversation, we will be able to foster a fulfilling, healthy relationship, not only with our friends and our parents, but also with our own family in the future and also with our children. Because we don't want to put trauma or put any dysregulation to our children so they can live the best with peace and freedom in their lives. So, as of my story, around 5 to 6 years ago, that's where everything started, right? I went into, is that junior high or senior high? Grade 7 ish. And then I started, being more exposed to, puberty has started being more exposed to women and my social life, being in that teenager life, right? Now, throughout those years, around 4 to 5 years forward, I've been with multiple women, basically just every woman possible, right? I'm not saying to boast or anything, but based off experience, this is what I want you to learn from me based on my own experience. I've been with multiple women. Um, the relationship lasted a few months. One went to a few years, but the patterns and the behaviors that I keep repeating, it's always bad in each and one of every relationship with the woman. And I see how this really affected me so much, and how it affected my relationship with my parents, with my friends, with everyone else. And then fast forward, my father passed away. It was around 2024, February. And then it made me realize, like, it made me cherish the moments where I was with him. And it made me realize how much of an importance is having and fostering a fulfilling, loving relationship, not only with the woman, but also with your parents, with your close friends, and just everyone else, and also yourself, right? Because in order to have a good relationship with everyone, of course, it sounds cliche, but you need to have a good relationship with yourself. And so, because of those events, it led me here after losing my dad at a very, very young age and being with multiple women and then just breaking up with all of them and just going through a lot of different life events that eventually led me here. It made me realize how much of an importance is having a loving relationship. And then one of the part of it is needing to lean on into difficult conversation. So in this video, really, I'm going to explain again, and I'm going to show you how to overcome it in the most simplest way possible. So the first thing is Why do you keep on avoiding difficult conversation, right? What does difficult conversation look like? Perhaps it looks like when um, you and your partner, or perhaps your ex, your past woman, girlfriends, right? You had a fight, and then you want to talk about it. Perhaps it leads to some kind of a like a downturn for the whole relationship. Perhaps it leads to a breakup, or perhaps it leads to something greater. But you just don't feel comfortable in leading on to that difficult conversations, right? Maybe you expect yourself to be in a difficult conversation, but when you actually experience it yourself, you just cannot be there. You just cannot be present. Perhaps you know that you're supposed to do this because I guess that's what everyone says. It's a cliche, but you need to communicate properly. You need to have conversations where you're telling the truth and everything. Well, it may seem easy, but it's not that easy. Now, as of myself, every time I'm in a conversation where I had to open up and show my feelings, I always hesitate and I don't feel good about it because I was scared. I was scared that I was gonna lose respect. The woman that I was with is gonna treat me differently. Why? Because I'm scared that I'm not perfect, and I'm scared that I'm not gonna be able to provide her, protect her in a way that a man can be. Because every mistakes, I feel I feel very unworthy of myself. I feel like I deserve nothing after every each and every mistake, even though I don't want to, but I feel it anyway. So when I get into difficult conversations, I'm like, you know what? I'm not worthy of this. I'm just gonna exit, but I don't want to exit. You know, I don't want to exit. I don't feel worthy of this. I'm just gonna shut down. I'm just gonna go out of conflict. Maybe I'm just gonna lash out at the person or be mad for no reason. Maybe guilt trip the person or manipulate into blaming the other person instead of myself. I'm not taking accountability as well. All of those subtle movements, subtle ways on how I exit and avoid conflict or difficult conversation is the result of me feeling unworthy or feeling imperfect. So that whole imperfectionism and overthinking just comes into play smoothly. And if you're experiencing the same thing, then you can relate to me so much, man. And I'm not saying this is your fault as well, because this isn't your fault, right? The first thing we have to look at is to actually your wound. My whole channel, it all comes back to your environment, your surrounding, how people treat you back then. Because your old story, which correlates, which basically is equivalent to your story back then, right? What happened during your childhood, how good were your parents, how your parents treated you, perhaps your cousins, your siblings, how was the environment around you, right? But because this is some kind of relation, this is a relationship, this is connected more to like an attachment issue, right? So it is more affected by whom you were with back then and how you were treated, aka your parents, your cousins, your siblings. Because whatever your identity is, it is reflected by the mirror of your own parent. So if you see a mirror, and then in your bathroom, let's say, you see yourself, right? You see a reflection of yourself. Imagine that mirror is actually your parents or your cousins or your siblings. They reflect back your identity by giving you values, by giving you love, by giving you what you are, you know? Because as a kid, you're always trying to find your values and you're always trying to find your identity or who you are through your parents. And whatever your parents gives you, that's what you hold on into until today's present moment. That's why you integrate your like child values and your child personality and everything into today's present moment. And if you have a wound that is closely related to mine or connected it matches or is similar to mine, then it may be one of the reason on why you keep on avoiding conversation that are very, very difficult, that are not comfortable at all. Now, if you have a different wound, it might also be that as well, right? Perhaps it might also be that you were, what was it? It can be really anything though. You were criticized for trying to, honestly, I can't think of anything right now, but like just try to think of yourself, because I'm trying to think what I experienced. But if there's anything else, then perhaps it's that, because the actions that you're doing right now, it like 100% it must be correlated with how you were in the past, right? Nonetheless, whatever those reasons are, perhaps your parents treated you this way, or perhaps your mom was strict and your mom punished you, or punished you, and then for wanting your needs met, perhaps like you want love, you want to be provided, you want toys and all that, and then you do something bad and your mom had to punish you in a way that is very unhealthy, right? Because we don't want to blame parents as well. Parents, well, I don't want to say parents back then, but a lot of parents, especially like the generation of the past parents, they're not aware of how they're treating their children due to the surrounding, due to their own environment, their own beliefs and values that they inherited from their own parents. So it's like your great great grandpa, right? That's why this whole topic is about intergenerational trauma. And culture also fits in. If you are American or whatever your ethnicity is, right? Indonesian, if you're Japanese, cultures really fit in onto, they play a huge role in how to parent children. And if they're very, very dysregulated, which I know for a fact that a lot of parents are dysregulated, their nervous system are always in urgency mode. And so how they treat their children is also in urgency mode, creating some kind of dysregulation within their children as well. And so they cannot regulate whenever they are in a difficult conversation once they grow up, and once they are placed, or once they fall in to an adult relationship, which can actually potentially be the freedom and the peace they want to have, but instead is the other way around. So avoiding difficult conversation, again, you have to really know your wound first. You have to know, okay, what is this all about? What did I have in the past, right? And sometimes for some people it's actually hard to do that because they don't have someone to help. And again, if you want anyone to help you with this, you can DM me at a link down below. Well, it's not a link, but you can DM me on Instagram at Zafar Descent. But yeah, either way, you can do it yourself, or you can ask me. You can like you can ask me, and I can help coach you on how to remove the attachment, um, and shift you to freedom and peace, and build a secure foundation love, and just stop self-sabotage, remove all those patterns within your relationship, not only in your relationship but also your confidence, your urges, your habits, and all those stuff. But that's besides the point. Another thing that I want to tell you is, after you want to name the wound, you want to see how it manifests in your day-to-day life, because perhaps you're aware of it or not, you have to really lean in, lean on to the repeated patterns. So you want to see how it manifests in your day-to-day lives. does it manifest when you're talking to your friends? You have to be aware of that. Even though you know, you have to be aware of it even more first. You want to see, okay, I feel this way. I feel triggered and I feel that I want to go out of this. I'm scared of being in that conversation with that person, or I'm scared of being in a difficult conversation if I'm in an argument with my parents or with my siblings or with a stranger that I want to stand up and speak the truth towards, but I'm scared because, I might lose respect, or perhaps I'm not going to be perfect on answering anything. So you want to have that. So after you name the wound, you want to see where the pattern manifests in your day-to-day lives. After you see where the pattern manifests, the thing that you want to do next is actually to stop it, right? You want to stop doing this habit of avoiding difficult relationship. One of the few ways that I always preach in to my clients, to literally everyone in this world, to my friends, to my family, is to respond and not react. The reason for this is a brief context that I want to explain, is that your nervous system is actually sensitized. So because of the wound that you experienced back then, right? I'm not going to go very, very deep because if I do, it's going to take like 10 hours. But just know this, that your nervous system is sensitized. And in order for you to desensitize it, you have to respond and not react. This is connected with neuroplasticity, which is basically a new way of science, in a clinical way, of experiencing and um, repetition. In order for you, in order for your body, basically, this whole topic is connected to somatic. It's somatically, um, it's soma, from the word soma itself. It means body, right? And if you approach this somatically, it's going to get way easier for you to actually heal from this wound and actually overcome the avoidance of difficult conversation. So you want to feel the discomfort each time you want to shut down or you want to exit that conversation, or the moment where you want to step into that conversation. You want to feel really the discomfort within your body. Do you feel discomfort in your abdominal area? Do you feel your heartbeat raising? Do you feel your shoulders a bit like, tense up? Do you feel your brain starts occurring, creating like some sort of headache symptom? What are the symptoms in your body, right? Do you, perhaps not physically, but mentally, do you start to have inner voices that keeps telling you, oh, don't be here, don't be here, you're not worthy. Um, she's just gonna blame you anyway. You're right. She's wrong. What is it, right? And then once you keep on doing this, repetition, you repeat feeling that discomfort in your body and leaning onto it, which is hard. I know it's very hard, but even though it's hard and you keep on doing this, your body will learn safety over time. Your body will learn that discomfort doesn't mean you need to be urgent to react to it. Doesn't mean there's this urgency, you have to react and you have to shut down and leave out of those difficult conversation. It doesn't mean like that, right? So once you repeat the feeling of discomfort in your body each time you get triggered, and just like observe it, just listen to it and not do anything about it, you're teaching your nervous system that it's okay to feel discomfort and not do anything about it. And then you just get on with your life. Just move forward. Just do your daily chores. Just do whatever you want to do in your day-to-day life after you feel that discomfort. Don't like try to remove it. Don't try to like reduce the pain. No, because once you reduce the pain, like let's say meditation or something, you're not going to be able to tell your nervous system that it's safe, because you're trying to like remove the pain by doing meditation or like very, very deep, deep, deep breathing to remove the pain. you're still telling your nervous system that, oh, it's not good at all. Discomfort is not good in my body, so let's get it away. But of course, you want to get it away, right? No, that's the thing. In order for you to get it away, you have to make sure your nervous system is safe. So your nervous system will not manifest pain in, let's say, your body sensation, or in your like headache or inner voices or overthinking and stuff. And in order for you to do that, that is neuroplasticity. That's the solution. That's the only answer. No meditation or trauma processing or anything can fix this. I've done this with a few of my clients, right? He had overthinking, and then I teach him how to, feel his body, feel body sensation, and just observe. And over time, his overthinking reduced. Even there's some kind of stomach pain that also reduced for him, right? So this is a very good solution for you to try, right? And actually repeat this for as long as you can possible. I'm not going to say the duration because for a lot of people it's also different, right? And yeah, that's basically it. And I hope you understand. I hope this is very valuable. To conclude, you want to name the wound, you want to see where it just came from, the root core of the problem. Then you want to see where it manifests in your day-to-day lives. Then you want to respond and not react by feeling your bodily sensation where discomfort is there, occurs, right? You want to lean on to your discomfort instead of just spreading it away. I hope you find that video very, very valuable, and don't forget to subscribe, and you know what to do. If again you want and you need some kind of coaching from me, like a personalized training, and you're just very hungry for transformation, and you want to remove self-sabotage and old attachment patterns that you don't want to repeat and manifest in your day-to-day lives, then DM me on Instagram at Zafara Descend, and we will just talk about it and discuss about it on how things will go and proceed after that. And yeah, see you in another video. Goodbye, traveler.